This video is made for adult collectors because, oh god, I have so much traveling to do this month. That's gonna be fun. You know that video, the like, oh, look at the little baby. Now look at the big baby. Look at the little dune buggy. Now look at the big dune buggy. That's enormous. This giant thing is a cliff jumper. Yes, this guy is the same as this guy. Sort of. Well, they're only really the same guy in name only. But again, I love when they do new takes on characters. So this thing is super interesting to me. It's also enormous. Like here's a deluxe, Voyager, leader, sponsor. Okay, that was terrible. And this video is brought to you by Try Treats. They are a snack subscription box service that delivers snacks once a month to your door from a different country every month. This time we got Mexico, and my parents were very excited because the last time we got Mexico, all of the snacks vanished in like a week, and they all vanished within like a week. They were really good apparently. Here's my dad trying them. I'm making him eat the spiciest thing in the box because it'd be funny. You can handle spice though.
Yeah. It's intense lime.
Lime?
Now yeah, lime. There's lime flavor in here. Now the spice is hitting.
Is it spicy?
Yeah.
Like, can you handle it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you can check them out, link in the description below, and if you use code THATTOYGUY, you can save 15% off your first box, which is always great. So thank you very much, Try Treats, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the actual toy. This is a hefty-ass dune buggy that got redecoed into a $1,000 beachcomber. I did see one used for $500 US at TFCon LA a couple years ago, and I almost got it. Almost. Legit, the only reason I didn't was because somebody else got to it before I did. But I like this alt mode with the red windows and the texturing they added to the side. This combo of colors, if you just presented it to me in words, I'd probably tell you you're weird for handing me a piece of paper with the words brown, yellow, and green on it, but I also wouldn't think they'd work. On the figure though, they seem to work quite well. It's a nice glossy brown color. That's such a weird sentence to say. It sounds like I'm saying it's a shiny poo. The yellow is nice, but the green, it's like a cross between British racing green and like mushy peas green, but it fits the rest of the vibe of this dune buggy. The silver engine at the top of the back is nice, though it would have been cool if they actually painted the entirety of the exhausts, if that's what these are. They just kind of hastily painted the tops and they look kind of ugly. He's got big chunky ass tires and rolls so well. Oh, this thing does make annoying sounds. All right, time for probably the most annoying sound box I think I've had in a figure in a while, because it makes one sound, but that one sound is so ungodly loud. That's the only noise it makes. That sounds awful. Okay, I'm stopped now. Yeah, it's really loud in person. There are cannons on the front and they fire missiles. That's pretty fun. Dangerous ass death race dune buggy. So the steps to get to the robot mode in this transformation are easy. He's just very heavy, and not heavy in the sense of like he weighs a lot. Heavy in the sense of like the joints are really, really tight in some areas, some that cause problems. But overall, it's still pretty fun to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take this back section here. We're going to bring the wheels just down and straighten them out. And then flip this around and bring these down and just get them like that. Then you want to take the wheels and rotate them and bring them up. They're going to sit in these little slots right here. So once that's done, that's basically the back of the figure finished. We're going to take the arms, well, we're going to fold the spoiler up first, then take the arms and bring them up and split them to bring them out. Then we're going to remove the guns. Ah! There it goes. There's one. Ah, there's the other. So once you get the guns out, we're going to fold up the shoulder pads and then just flip out the hands on both sides. They will click into place. And then once you have that, we're going to take this and accordion it down. And that's the top of the robot basically done. Idiot. Once we have that done, we're going to work on the legs. So you want to split the legs and rotate them forward. Then we're just going to bring them out a click. We're going to fold these wheels up and then flip these knee pads down. Bring up the feet. Now this hinge apparently likes to crack. I'll talk about that a little bit more later, but it does like to do that. That's fun. We'll bring up that foot on both sides. Then you want to fold out the heel, which is just on the side there. And then you can leave it like that. But what I personally like to do is get this straightened out. I like to fold this in one click and then bring that down. I think that's the proper way you're supposed to do it. I could be wrong, but I just think that looks a lot nicer. I don't have the instructions, but like I think that just looks a lot nicer. There you have Cliffjumper. Yeah, Cliffjumper. That's Cliffjumper, I guess. Well then, he's enormous, both up, down, left, right, and front, back. Like, he has a lot of plastic here, which shouldn't be a surprise. Energon toys were massive, but this guy feels extra massive. He's solid as a rock too. Well, mostly. According to the wiki, the hinges on the feet here have issues that like to crack sometimes, so that's fun, I guess. I love when the toy is just one day going to break, regardless of what I try. Looking at you, every Bionicle from 2007 to 2010. He does look cool though. Not very many new things exposed in robot mode, but the shoulders, you do get a nice embossed Autobot badge with that same nice texturing on the back that the Windows had. And then on the other side, you get this symbol that means you can't put an Autobot badge here. I don't actually know what that's there for, but it's kind of funny. I do like the chest fin thing. And the head sculpt feels very Beachcomber, with the goggles and the chin strap. His legs are a bit of a mess up front, with the feet and knee pads so close together and the wheel in the middle. It's just a bunch of angular shapes shoved onto his leg. I do enjoy that they gave him enormous heels though, thank God. The shoulders are always slumped a bit forward, and that feels kind of strange. I've tried to see if they go back any further, but it feels like I'm gonna break it, so that ain't happening. The two guns can go in his hand so he can shoot people, but he also can peg them into his shoulders to rival any wingspan you put him next to. He is not built for articulation, just like a lot of other figures from the time. And the articulation's there. It exists, it's just not fantastic. So bro's head can do a full 360 degrees. That's pretty much it. No up or down, no tilts, just a swivel. The shoulders, they can do a full 360 degrees and they can go out about that far. You also, because of the transformation, do get a butterfly joint inward, which is nice. Does have a little under 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, but no bicep rotation because the ball joint's going this way rather than the other way. So you don't get, that's all you get. That's all you're gonna get out of that. You get a forearm rotation, but no bicep swivel, no wrist swivel, but again, the forearm rotation. Nothing at the waist because it does that. The hips, they can ratchet forward that far. They can go back that far. The knee pad can come undone. They can go out, do a full split. No thigh rotation whatsoever. You do have 90 degrees of bend at the knee, though it doesn't really accomplish much in the way of lifting the leg up because his thighs are so short, and then nothing at the feet. So yeah, he's about as posable as Energon Ironhide, which, you know, kind of makes sense. They're the same size class, and same with Jetfire. But yeah, well, at least Ironhide has bicep rotations. This guy just, he's so uneven. This is annoying. This guy straight up just doesn't have any of that, which is, you know, slightly unfortunate, but also just look at him. Does he really need to articulate? You could just stand him in front of anyone and he's just gonna intimidate them. Like, oh no. He's dead now. But being an Energon toy, he can do the combining thing, and surprisingly, he does it pretty well. Okay, I say that, but shirt mode kind of sucks. Like, this ain't great at all, in my opinion. The instructions kind of suck too to get it here. I had to Google them, and now that he's here, he looks really weird. Remember how I said these are starting to approach the age where they're gonna probably start deteriorating? Yeah, I just noticed that has just it's so hard to focus. It's completely cracked through. So that's the last time I ever moved this shoulder. Not touching this thing again after this video. That's unfortunate, because I rather like this figure. Pants mode though, this actually works well. I think to me this is the best pants mode on an Energon figure. Honestly, I'm just gonna display these two like this from now on, mainly because Ironhide's broken, but it doesn't do the weird hip thing where it wants to lean back in this mode, and he's got enormous heels. But at the end of the day, I still have fun with this thing. It's a neat take on Cliffjumper, even if it's just him being a big beachcomber. But if you like big clicky toys, then this is probably a pretty good pickup, provided you aren't spending too much, because this figure is just a wee bit up there. And then if you want Beachcomber, have fun. But that's been my look at Energon Cliffjumper. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.